Have you ever been in a room where you can feel the tension? Not because it's too hot or too cold, not because it's loud or quiet, but because something unspoken is hanging in the air. Thick, heavy, and impossible to ignore. That's this moment. Jesus has become, well, kind of a big deal. He heals, he feeds, he teaches like no one else. And everywhere he goes, the crowd grows. But what gets me, what brought me here, isn't just the miracles or the wisdom. It's that he sees people. People like me, kids, the sick, the ones no one else notices. Samaritans, even me. I've spent most of my life being overlooked, pushed aside, told to stay at the edge of the room or to just leave the room altogether. But not with Jesus. He looked me in the eye. He listened. He spoke to me like I mattered. So yeah, I'm here. How could I not be here? But I mentioned that feeling in the room, that tension. Yeah, it's alive right now. Because I'm not the only one who's here. It's not just the outcasts and the overlooked. It's the religious leaders too. And they are not being subtle. They're not just whispering about Jesus. They're talking about us, about me. Loud enough for everyone to hear. Why does this man welcome sinners? Why does he even eat with them? And just like that, the room shifts. You feel it, don't you? Awkward, embarrassing, like the spotlight just hit all the people trying to disappear into the corner. Part of me wants to walk out to avoid the shame, the stares, the judgment. But another part of me, the part that Jesus looked at, that part wants to stay. Because maybe, just maybe, there's more to this moment than awkwardness. Maybe there's something I need to hear.
This is awkward. Do you see who's in this room right now? In here with me? I've got a reputation to protect. There are 613 laws, mitzvot, commandments that I live by. And I'm into it so much that I have them all written here. And they're in order. The first half are the commandments of things that you can never, ever do. And the rest are the laws, the mitzvot, of the things that you must do. And, and I live by them. And it's not just knowing them, but I know them, that makes me impressive. And I am impressive. Living them is where it's at, and I am there. That's what gives me standing, honor, respect with people, with the Almighty, with God. And I guarantee you people out there, you probably don't even know 50 of them. And I know all 613. Let alone live by them. But it's embarrassing. And yet here I am, curious, watching, listening. There's something about this guy, this Jesus guy, that's hard to ignore. His words carry weight. His wisdom cuts through noise. And look, I'm not here chasing miracles like some bored onlooker. I'm here because, well, there may be something more going on here, but honestly, this is really uncomfortable. Do you see who else is here? They're sitting there at all these tables like they belong here. like they've earned a seat. It's humiliating. It's humiliating for them. It's humiliating for me. But it sure must be humiliating for Jesus. What kind of a teacher, what kind of a rabbi surrounds himself with them? This Rabbi Yeshua. I'm risking a lot just by being in this room. The food alone makes me nervous. Was it tithed? Is it kosher? Do the labels have the Circle K and the Circle U? I'm not touching it. But the people are. People I'm commanded to avoid. People who break the law that I've spent all my life doing. I have to preserve ritual purity. I have to stay set apart. That's what the law requires. It requires holiness. And believe me, I do stand apart, and I am better, cleaner, worthier. But this room is so full. It's so, it's too full. And honestly, they should go. They know. You know who you are. Doesn't Jesus know who he's sitting with? Sinners. Can they not take a hint? You don't belong here. Jesus, what? Rabbi, why don't you tell them to leave? And what are you doing here?
I've wanted to leave. I felt stuck, misunderstood, like I was missing something better, something more. It always felt like life was just beyond here. And eventually I left. And now here I am in this crowded room with Jesus, and the awkwardness is thick in the air.
The religious authorities are muttering, but not quietly. They're not talking about Jesus, they're talking about me. And everything in me wants to run again. That familiar ache in my chest. Get me out of here. But then, Jesus doesn't move away. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't call them out or call me out.
He simply starts telling stories, and the room stills. You could feel it shift. First, it's about a shepherd with 100 sheep, and one wanders off. Instead of writing it off, the shepherd leaves the 99 to find it. He finds it, picks it up, carries it home, and then throws a party. Then a second story. This time, a woman loses a single coin. She tears her whole house apart to find it. And when she does, yep, another party. Beautiful, sure, but I'm not a shepherd. I don't really like sheep. And I'm not throwing a party over a found coin.
No, wait. Oh, there we go. But then a third story, and within seconds, I knew. He was telling my story. A son, restless, leaves home, burns bridges, wastes it all, hits rock bottom. And just when he thinks he's ruined everything, he goes home. Not knowing if he'll be accepted, not knowing if there's anything left for him, accepting rejection, expecting rejection, but finding his father running to greet him. A robe, a ring, a feast. Welcome home. And just as I'm leaning forward to actually leave, because hearing your story out loud can be unbearable, I feel a hand on my shoulder, my father's hand. Right, I'm not just the one who ran away. I'm the one who was welcomed back.
Wait. Don't go. Let's stay in this moment a little longer. Let's hear how this story ends. I remember the moment that should have broken everything. Life was good. We had what we needed. There was peace, comfort even. But then, everything shifted. You looked me in the eye and you said it. Someday you're gonna die. When that happens, I'll get my inheritance. I want it. Now. I was sure I heard you wrong. No one says that. No one says that out loud. But you did. And it wasn't just about money. It was about what that money represented. Separation, distance, a break, us being over. You were ready to cut the cord, to treat me like I was already gone. And I could feel the weight of it hit me in the chest. You were ready for a fight. You stood like someone expecting my outrage, my shame, my scolding. You braced yourself to hear no. But in that moment, every potential outcome played in my mind, like a movie I couldn't pause. If I yelled, you'd run. If I pleaded, you'd run. If I shamed you, you'd still run. And so I didn't close the door. I watched you walk away. You didn't see me break. You didn't hear the silence when you left the room and took all the air with you. You didn't see the nights I stood at the gate, looking down the road, or how the ache never stopped echoing through our home. I asked myself everything. What did I miss? What could I have done? What could I have said differently? The answers never came. But something else did. Hope. It started small, like a whisper I couldn't shake. It grew with every sunrise. It held me when grief tried to steal my breath. Hope that one day I'd see you again. That your feet would find their way home. That this story wasn't over.
It didn't turn out how I'd hoped. Not even close. If you could take every ounce of embarrassment and shame, boil it down, simmer it for months until it became a thick, bitter syrup, that's what I was drinking. And not sipping, it was being forced down until I gagged on the taste of my own failure. There are moments in life when everything feels so clear. Crystal clarity, no doubts, no hesitations. I had one of those moments. I knew what I wanted, what I needed, where I was going to find joy, purpose, fulfillment. And the answer I was so sure was me. I chased it. I indulged every desire. I threw off every limit. I fed the appetite with everything I had. But the more I fed it, the hungrier it became. It devoured my time, my energy, my relationships, my money, until it devoured me. And when there was nothing left to take, when the thrill dried up, what remained was this heavy, gnawing ache. Worthlessness. I wasn't just empty, I was convinced I had become the trash left behind after the feast. This wasn't just failure, this felt like justice. I got what I deserved, and even that didn't feel like enough punishment. So I decided to go back, but not to ask for a second chance, not for forgiveness, not to be restored. I wasn't going back for relief, I was going back to accept my sentence. To be nothing. To wear the name that now felt etched into my chest like a brand. Worthless.
I remember the exact moment my heart leapt. You were still so far off, just a figure on the horizon, but I knew it was you. Every day since you left, I looked toward the same horizon that you disappeared into. Not with anger, not with bitterness, not even with disappointment. I looked with hope. And look, hope can sound poetic, maybe even noble, but it can twist. It can turn dark. I hope they come back so I can say, I told you so. I hope they come back so I can rub it in. I hope they come back so I can be right. I hope they come back so they'll see finally how wrong they were. That's not the kind of hope I had. That's not what carried me to the edge of the road every day. My hope wasn't about payback. It was about you. And when I saw you, when your silhouette finally broke the horizon, I ran. I didn't wait for you to apologize. I didn't wait for your explanation. I didn't make you grovel or prove yourself. I ran to you. And as you braced yourself for rejection, I threw my arms around you and the tears just came. You're back. You're back. There was no space left in me for anger or pride or lectures, only joy, only celebration. I wrapped my coat around you and I called the servants. We are throwing a party. Everyone has to hear. Everyone has to come because my son, my child, has come home again. You tried to speak, to explain, but my hope had already turned into reality. This moment wasn't about shame. This was about restoration. It was time to celebrate.
What is happening? What did I miss? Wait, what are we celebrating? I must have missed something. It sure sounds like a party, but for what? There are things that deserve a celebration. Hard work, never giving up, showing up day after day, even when no one notices, being good, no, being better. That is what should be celebrated. Being better than everyone else. And look, I know how that sounds, but I've lived it. I've got good friends, and they know I'm the dependable one. I've got neighbors, and they know who holds it all together. I've got coworkers, and let's be real, they know it too. I've been the one doing the right thing when no one's watching. And maybe you think I'm full of myself, but if I don't say it, no one else will. I'm better, even better than him, my father. Okay, maybe that sounds harsh, but let me explain. My brother, yeah, that brother, he walked up to our dad and basically said, "Hey, let's pretend you're dead. Give me my share now." And my dad, he gave it to him. Just handed it over and stood there as my brother walked away without a glance back. My dad was so weak, such a pushover. He was taken advantage of. And what did I do? I stayed. I worked. I carried the weight. I kept the pace afloat while my father stood at the edge of the property line day after day, scanning the horizon like some tragic figure in a story that should have ended chapters ago. That kind of love, it's weakness. That kind of hope, it's naive. And now there's music, laughter, celebration. Don't tell me, he came back? He came back? I can't believe it. After all this, we're celebrating him?
Can you believe it? He's back. My son, who is good as dead, is alive. And he came over the hill, and there he was. I saw him. I ran. I didn't think. I didn't hesitate. I just ran because he's back. The celebration happening inside right now, it doesn't even come close to what I feel inside my chest. Joy, relief, wholeness. But now, son, why are you out here? Your brother, he was lost, gone, and now he is not. He was dead to us, and now he is alive. I need you to see that. Look, I know this is hard. I know that it's not fair, not neat, or easy. But everything I have, it's always been yours. And it's his too, because love doesn't run out. Grace isn't a pie we have to slice into small pieces. There's more than enough for everyone, for the both of you. Please, don't stay out here. Don't let pride build a wall between you and your brother, between you and your family, between you and me. I love you. I believe in you. You belong here too. Please, come in.